Yes, if you ever put a DeRozan banner up, I'll go up there and pull it down myself. That's the answer to your question.
Drake, in tonight's broadcast, Lamar, in tonight's broadcast, Drake said, if you ever put up the DeRozan banner up, I'll go up there and pull it down myself. What's your reaction to that?
Well, he gonna have a long way to climb to take it down, so tell him good luck.
Thanks, everyone.
This boy from back another one. Yo, we got Drake basically disrespecting DeMar DeRozan courtside. It's pretty interesting because a couple of days ago, LeBron James was just there, and I was like, wow, I'm surprised Drake isn't courtside trying to act tough. And then next thing you know, I guess Vince Carter has his, jersey retirement, and Drake has to show up there more than he has to show up for Lil Wayne's actual performance, which is the person who signed him. But I guess since he's the ambassador of Toronto, the Toronto Raptors, he has to show up for a jersey retirement. But during that retirement for Vince Carter and during the game versus the Sacramento Kings, where DeMar DeRozan plays now, notice Drake is acting tough on the sidelines with his boyfriend, Chubbs. Chubbs is not his bodyguard. No bodyguard gets treated the way he's treated. It reminds me of when Shannon Sharp had that boy toy courtside every single game. That's what Chubbs remind me of. And he snickers and smiles like a little girl next to Drake and antagonizes him to make him do more, clownish things as if he's acting tough, because Chubbs make him look tougher. Because if he was standing next to his white mom doing all that staring, it wouldn't be as intimidating. Even though it wasn't intimidating at all. He was making duck lips pretending to be hard because he can't be hard. He's never been in a situation where he's had to put on the stone cold face, mean mugging, walking through the block. He's never had the life that DeMar DeRozan lived at all. DeMar DeRozan lived in Compton. DeMar DeRozan lived in L.A. DeMar DeRozan lived with his best friend getting killed, seeing him on Monday and not seeing him on Tuesday. DeMar DeRozan has been through pain. DeMar DeRozan is an open advocate and openly speaks about mental health. And Drake goes courtside and basically tries to clown him, calls him the P word. Drake, you can't even beat him up. You can't even slapbox him. You can't even be in the same room as him as a man. We're not talking about careers and all of this. We're talking about as men. You can't be in the same room as DeMar DeRozan, in my opinion. What DeMar DeRozan has done for the city of Toronto is more than what Drake has done for the city of Toronto. People's going to sit there and say DeMar DeRozan doesn't deserve a jersey or doesn't deserve his jersey retired. In my opinion, he does. Without DeMar DeRozan getting drafted, they would have never gotten Kawhi Leonard. They would have never gotten a great player enough to where the San Antonio Spurs was good enough with sending their superstar player over to Toronto for DeMar DeRozan in order to somehow get Victor Wembanyama, because these are all of the stuff that took place. It all took place with a DeMar DeRozan trade. Toronto Raptors won and the San Antonio Spurs won because they got the number one pick, and one of the greatest number one picks that we're probably ever going to see is Victor Wembanyama. And then they also got Kawhi Leonard. While his knees were good enough to carry him to one championship, after that, he's bowed out of the NBA basically. So you guys take all that stuff into consideration. Then you think about what Drake did courtside, where instead of going at the person who was dancing and who was your best friend, LeBron James, the person that you sat there and brought out Bronny and all of this other stuff, kissing up to LeBron, going to LeBron kids' high school games all the time, he's the one that betrayed you. He's the one that should have had more loyalty for you, but you wasn't at his courtside game. You was at DeMar DeRozan's courtside game. That lets me know that you're scared of LeBron. And to me, LeBron ain't no tough guy. So you sitting there scared of LeBron. So you starting to beef with DeMar DeRozan. I loved his response because his response was exactly the response I would give to someone like Drake. Go and climb. Go climb and get that. Good night. That's how a real man respond. They're not going to sit there and just play around with you. If you see him in person and you got that same energy, I want to see you do that shit in person. Don't do it for the cameras where you're a good actor, where you can pretend to be whatever you want to be. You're a chameleon. When the cameras is on, you be whoever you feel like you want to be. But when them cameras is off, we heard your real accent. We heard how you really speak to people. You're not tough. You tough towards women. You tough towards men when they're walking away, whispering in an arena. You could have done that the whole entire game. But then you want to sit there and watch him while he's playing the game. He's talking to the ref. You want to sit there and pretend like you Tupac, like you Biggie Smalls, like you really somebody, like you really Like, that's why I'm trying to tell y'all, when it comes to music, people, these artists get delusional based off of what they rap. So if they rap about killing all day, they're going to start feeling tough enough to go actually go do it because they're rapping about it. They have to go live that life. Drake has been rapping like he's a tough guy for a while now. And he's gone far away from the melodies. Because me personally, I like Drake with the melodies. I don't like Drake when he act tough. You going to make a nigga bring back Puff. Let me see if Chubbs really crash something. Let me see if Chubbs really crashed something with DeMar DeRozan. Chubbs was sitting there snickering and laughing, you know what I'm saying, like a clown, because he's a clown and you're a clown. You know what I'm saying? Disrespecting DeMar DeRozan, which is one of my favorite players for the last decade plus. That was one of my favorite players for the last decade plus, for real, like no funny shit. So when I'm seeing the softest dude in rap, yes, speak to a man who can play basketball at at the highest level, and all the stuff he does for his city, his community work that he does for his city, DeMar DeRozan does a lot of good humanitarian work. He goes and attack him for for being in a video where it's his hometown people. Like, he's an LA dude. We all know this. The same way Drake stands up for Toronto is the same way DeMar DeRozan stand up for California, LA. You're going to make him choose between Kendrick and you? Man, that sounds like some girl stuff, and this how you going to antagonize him, man? We'll see how that stuff happen in real life. We'll see what happens when DeMar DeRozan cross your path one day, because I'm pretty sure it's not going to be all tough face. You're going to be trying to dab him up. You're going to be trying to smile. You're going to pretend like you don't see him. You won't never address him to his face. Now, I hope next time he shows the camera a little something, but if I know DeMar DeRozan, he's not really into all of that negative press or negative media attention, because he's very conscious about his health mentally. You know what I'm saying? All that negative attention just doesn't do no good for nobody, especially with a fan base like Drake. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what y'all think in the comments below, because to me, this was the biggest sucker move that I've ever seen from anybody. It's just the biggest sucker move. Imagine being in a rap beef and you go and attack the basketball player that goes supports his hometown. Like, come on, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. It's been boy for me to bring back another one. Peace.